Hi, my name is Alexandra Sofin, and I'm here with Fiercely Independent Network. We're here at the Mountain View Studio for the Woodstock Film Festival.
We're at a point in time where you can create, where if you can release something just digitally, the platforms are set up as such, and if you strategize it properly, you can make a splash in that world. And people are going more and more for digital content and looking more and more to these platforms, to cable VOD, for movies that, if you do it right, you can create a profile in that world too. I think that, a few years ago, a movie that didn't have a theatrical was sort of, it's like it's just straight to DVD or, straight to video. Now, increasingly, there are movies like that are taken seriously, or they're treated with sort of a more interest.
My films have been distributed first by Ben Barinholtz, who at Cinema 5, and I played my first feature, which I made when I was 21, called Imagine the Sand, and it was a jazz film. And Ben put it in film form. And for me, it was, reaching, it was kind of a, dream, because I was a cinephile growing up, to have my film played in New York and at film form. And that film was supported largely by people who were interested in jazz, and so it got reviewed in the New York Times, which was like, a big deal, and the film went on to have a life, and still is, it's still, available on now all these different formats and all these different, from a 16 millimeter film to now it being available on digitally. So there's all these different formats that the film goes into.
So how do you think social media today plays such a big role in distribution for films?
Well, there's several ways. It's obviously a very important part. I mean, a little bit like was actually discussed on the panel. I think there's two ways to look at it. There's before a distributor like us gets involved, if there's social media that's drawing attention to the film, you have a certain number of followers on Facebook and Twitter. That does help give the movie a profile that distributors can kind of latch onto. It's like, wow, this movie has so much interest already before it's even screened or before it's even picked up. Then, from a marketing standpoint, let's say, when we are involved in a movie, it's a key way that we reach our audience. I mean, like a movie like Samsara, we did so much through social media, and I think for so much of that audience really responded to that. The Facebook page, I mean, the number of followers just, it kept increasing and increasing and increasing, like exponentially, like it was a huge part of it.
Stay tuned for more from the Woodstock Film Festival.